when you have a lot of new players who are challenging to get into rotation, you need a little time to evaluate them. And, certainly Desmond and Joe Smith are going to be in the rotation. Russell's given every indication that he's going to be in the rotation. So, you got at least 3 new guys.
Where do you see this team, Darnell, as we get ready for actual games to be played, the preseason?
I think they've had a good, strong first week of practice. I think, PJ's talked about some of the younger guys sort of mentally not being into it. The further in they get, they're sort of getting behind a little bit more. I mean, that's just natural. But I think the older guys, the guys that you're going to be seeing play more on this roster, I think they're in good shape going into that first preseason game against Minnesota.
And one of the interesting things we found already is you've got 5 games in 7 days. PJ wants to rest some of the guys, but he also knows the Tulsa and Oklahoma City games next week. People will be disappointed if Durant and Green aren't playing in those games. He's got a little delicate balancing act, doesn't he, to who to pull out for what games, because he wants everybody to rest at least one game because you got so many the first week.
Right, because of the relocation, they have a hectic preseason schedule. 5 games and 7 nights to start. 2 sets of back-to-back games. They play Sacramento and Golden State, and then they play Houston and Tulsa, and then the Clippers here on the 14th at the Ford Center. So PJ's decision is does he sit out the guys? Because he doesn't want to play them too many minutes in the preseason, but at the same time, he doesn't want to not play those guys for their Oklahoma debuts.
And that's going to be the interesting thing next week is everybody's back in town. They're going to play on Monday night in Tulsa, Tuesday night here. But before they do that, they have 3 games on the West Coast this weekend. What are you looking for out of this team the first 3 games on the West Coast this weekend?
I think, the thing that I'm looking forward to most is seeing the rotation, seeing what guys play well together. I think that's the thing that you want to see in these first games. The combinations that PJ puts out on the floor is going to be a tell-all sign of how these guys are going to mesh and just how far along they are right now.
We have a lot of new pieces coming in, with a lot of veterans. We have Russell coming in, so we are going to go out in this preseason try to get the chemistry up with our team and try to go in and try to win all of our games.
How much improvement do you think you made compared to getting ready for your first preseason game as a rookie compared to getting ready? How much progress have you made the last 12 months?
A lot of progress. It's more about confidence and being able to go out there and just showcase what you can do. Because I was able to handle the ball a lot at Georgetown before I came into the NBA. But coming into my first year, I had to learn a lot because it's a different game from the college, and I just had to transition my game from college to the NBA. And I think from going through what I went through last year, a lot of losing and not knowing what I was going to play and just sitting back and watching, seeing what it takes to be a winner on this level. And I think I went into this summer with a different attitude, knowing what I needed to work on. And I just bring it to training camp and just adding it to the pieces that we have already.
How hard was that? I mean, you're at a program that goes to Final Fours, in the top 20, top 10 all the time, to go to a team that went 62 losses. That's probably more in your whole life, right? In one season. How hard was that?
It was really hard, but every winner has to go through, there are a couple of losers. Jordan didn't come out, right away winning and everything. So, I think, by us going through, we went through, we know what that feeling feels like, and we don't want to experience that again. So, we're going to work extremely hard not to experience that again.
We're a little banged up last week. They looked a little better. But any 1 or 2 players you're focusing on this week?
He expressed a lot of disappointment in Robert Swift over the weekend. He said that his injuries have sort of gotten him behind. Aside from injuries, though, I really want to see Kevin Durant. What has he added to his game? And Jeff Green, is he more evolved than he was last season?
That'll wrap it up for the first day of the second week of training camp. For more, go to newsok.com.